Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And yes, again, I know it's been a while, but I'm back and I'm starting this new series on my channel where I'm answering questions by random people that I see online. So usually I see screenshots, I see posts in groups and questions that people ask. And a lot of times, believe it or not, these questions are very common. You would not believe. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna answer these questions briefly as best as I can. Of course, if you are more advanced in your hypergamous journey and you are past this stage in your level of journey, you can always come and join me on Patreon. I'm going to leave the link in the description. I get on Patreon every single week, every Thursday, and we have in-depth conversation and topics that we all discuss. So yeah, let's get into these questions. So here's the question, and I'm going to read out the question for you guys. And of course, if you guys have any suggestion or you would like to answer the question yourself, you can leave a comment below. So here we go. My boyfriend of 7 years, who has 3 baby mamas, has been jobless for 3 years. A few months ago, I inherited some money from my grandmother and want to buy a house. He wants the house to be in both of our names. What should I do? I mean it gets rough sometimes, but I love him. Okay, so girl, I'm gonna try to answer this question, and I'm gonna try not to be as to be judgmental, because you all know I'm laughing inside, because you guys know who have been following me for a long time know that I do not really tolerate these type of questions. I try not to entertain them because I feel like you know. But anyway, you guys know where I'm coming from, because usually if you are a member of my group, comments like these and questions like these gets deleted, because you need to be leveling up your life in all areas. So let's so before I answer the question, I just want to talk about the red flags that I see in that comment. Okay, so the red flag is that the first red flag is the word boyfriend. Okay, now I don't really like the term boyfriend, because to me, in my opinion, a boyfriend is nothing to me, because if you're not married, it doesn't really matter. Everyone is fair game. You are still single. You are single till married. I've done a video about this. So the first red flag is boyfriend, and my definition of boyfriend is youth and beauty stealer. So that's my definition of a boyfriend. Okay, because this boyfriend has 3 baby mamas. That's another red flag, and they've been together for 7 years. Another red flag. I didn't see any mention of marriage or anything here, and yeah. And then another red flag is that she wants to buy a house, but he wants her to put his name on the house. That's another red flag. And of course, the elephant in the room is that he is jobless. He has been jobless for 3 years. And of course, the other red flag, are you guys counting? Because I'm not. The other red flag is that I love him. So let's address each one. If this guy is your boyfriend and you guys have been together for 7 years, like, why are you not married? And secondly, by the way, don't even marry him, because he's not legible. He's not legible for marriage, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're not married, because he has been jobless. So if he has been jobless, like, how has he been surviving? Where does he live? Who takes care of him? Where does he eat? Who feeds him? And more than likely, I believe that it's you, the person that asks this question, and that is very concerning to me. This question is like pick me on steroids, but I'm just gonna skip over the red flags and all the issues that I have, because this video is going to be way too long, and let me just answer like the real question, because the question she's asking is what should I do about putting his name on the house. Okay, so let's put the red flags aside and try and focus on the question at hand. I think that you should break up with him, like literally break up with him, and cut your losses and move on, because I feel like you are holding on to a potential or something, and you think that because you are in love with this person, you think that you need to be loyal or whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you're an adult, you should be able to I'm not exactly sure if I'm in the middle. I don't know. Okay, yeah. If you're an adult, you need to make the adult decisions. Okay, you cannot be out here acting and thinking like a child and making bad decisions when it comes to relationship, especially bad financial decisions. And in terms of investment, especially when it comes to buying a home. So to answer the question, the answer is no. Do not put his name on that house because first of all, I do not know where you're from, but I am traditional, and I believe that it's a man's duty to provide a home for his wife. And you gotta remember that you guys are not married, so you are not his wife. And not only are you not married to this guy, you want to put his name on the house, like you are giving this guy so much and he's not giving anything in return. So the least that he can give back to you is to be responsible, be a responsible adult, and find a job and make responsible financial decisions like an adult. If this guy has been jobless for 3 years and he has 3 baby mamas, it just tells me that this guy has a lot of growing up to do. It's classic case of Peter Pan syndrome, and you are enabling him. You are not just his girlfriend, you are his enabler. You are enabling the behavior. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if he decides to get his act together and maybe start working and start earning money and start becoming a responsible adult. What is going to happen, that this is all going to backfire on you. All the enabling, being with him for 7 years, not demanding that he gets a job, and not demanding that he become responsible and that you guys get married. He is going to look at you when he gets into that to that place where you want him to be. Like, let's say for example he starts working, he gets a job, he's becoming successful. He's gonna look down on you. He's gonna look at you with disgust, because he's gonna be like, ew, I can't believe she took me in, and she was with me at my lowest, and like when I wasn't doing anything, when I was just being irresponsible and sitting on the couch doing nothing. Like, this guy is gonna look at you with disgust, which is why you do not build with a man, you do not enable a man, you do not mother a man, because in my opinion, it seems like you are his mother, which is not very healthy at all. And you are going to come out losing in the long run. Like, there's nothing good is going to come out of this situation. I promise you. Now, you didn't mention if you guys had children together, but he has 3 kids. He should be focusing on taking care of those 3 kids, getting his act together, getting his life together, instead of being in a relationship and trying to get his name on a house that he knows for a fact that he doesn't deserve. Okay, he knows that he doesn't deserve to get his name on a house that he never worked for and he never earned. And another thing that I want you to consider: your grandmother is dead and she left you with an inheritance. Ask yourself this question: how would your grandmother feel if she knows that you up here taking her money, to buy a house, and put in some dusty's name on the house, some guy that you have been with for 7 years, that you guys have no kind of growth at all, no financial growth, is not working? Like, do you think your grandmother is going to approve of that? So I want you to think about your grandmother. I know for a fact that your grandmother will be very disappointed in you. She is going to be disappointed, and you know this. I don't even have to tell you this. So do not put his name on the house. And if I were you, I would try to get out of that relationship, try to get my act together before I purchase that house. I would break up with this guy. My advice to you, and this is the best advice you're going to get from anyone. This video was not easy for me to make, but I'm kind of tired of seeing these type of questions in the groups, in the level up groups on Facebook. So if you're part of the level up community, you guys know that there is a lot of pick-me BS going on in the community, and it has been like 3 years since the whole level up thing started. And at this point in our level up journey, that you shouldn't be getting questions like these, but unfortunately these are the type of questions that you keep getting, you keep seeing, because there are a lot of new women that keeps joining the movement, which is good, because it's a good sign for me, because it means that the movement is growing. But baby girl, take my advice, listen to your auntie, because I feel like I'm your auntie. And you guys know I am 41 years old. I am married. I have a lot of experience with relationship and stuff like that. And I know for a fact that, if you believe that you're in love, it's going to make you make bad decisions. So try to be rational. And I want you to approach life, well, not just life, like relationship in general, the same way you would approach finding a job, the same way you would approach choosing a business partner, making a decision and deciding what you're going to study in college. Weigh out the cons and approach it with rational. You got to be rational when you are choosing a partner, and you cannot just choose a partner based on love, because sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera. You can't just choose a partner based on love because you think he's attractive and, oh, I'm in love. Like, nothing good ever comes out of these type of unions, because there is no foundation. Okay, love is not between a man and a woman. It's not a good foundation. It's not a good reason to be in a relationship, because you guys know how I feel about love, and I believe that the purest and highest form of love is in fact self-love, not the love between a man and a woman, because the love between a man and a woman is conditional. If you decide to do something that he doesn't like, he can stop loving you. That's if he even loves you. If he decides that he doesn't want to be with you anymore, like, it's conditional. Like, you can walk out of a relationship at any time you want. You gotta think long term, and you gotta make good financial decisions. And enabling a grown man for 3 years, and you guys have been together for 7 years, is not a good look. It is not a good look. It's not a good decision. You are going to regret it, I promise you. So, think about your grandma, think about your family, think about your children or your future children. And also, I'm going to leave you guys with this before I go. Visualize yourself visualize your best self. Let's say, for example, you see yourself as a successful woman in 3 or 5 years time. Like, just visualize that person that you really want to become, and look at that person and look at her life while you visualize. Is she with a guy who is jobless for 3 years? If the answer is no, then you need to cut ties with this boyfriend. Okay, hold off on buying the house. Think about it. Get some advice, get some second opinions, not just mine. And then, then you decide what you want to do, because, sometimes delayed reaction and delayed decision making is always best. Like, do not make decisions based on a whim. And I promise you, if you do not take my advice and you put his name on your house, you will regret it. And your grandmother is going to roll over in her grave, and she's not going to be proud of you. I hope I did a good job by answering this question. If I did, please leave a comment below, like this video, and please share this video. That helps me out a lot. I'm trying to get this channel monetized. So, and also please check out the links in the description, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.